Hi guys, there's a bit of a windy one here today. So if you hear a bit of rattling during this video, I'm really sorry, but we've got 80-mile winds. Anywho, what are we here for? Okay, so, cost of living crisis, we're all having to tighten our belts. Tanny's going to have to give up his love affair with Mr Kipling. Yeah. So, I'm going to be making something today which is a crossover between two of his absolute favourites. Now one of his favourites is a Bakewell tart and the other one is a coconut cupcake. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to mash the two together, see what we can come up with. I promised him I'd actually make these last February. It's now a year later. But, you know, life gets in the way sometimes. And now I have no choice. We need to make these. I need to make things for his lunchboxes. So this is part of my lunchbox series. So, yeah, and there will be a link to the playlist below and somewhere on the end. But let's get going before I think about it too hard and do this. We're going to start off with the pastry. Now, I have a load of pastry left over from Christmas, so I still have some short crust pastry for that, so that's what we're going to use because it just makes life that little bit more simple, and we're using leftovers. But if you can find pastry on offer, feel free to buy it. If you can't, there will be a video coming up shortly at some point on how to make short crust pastry. If I can teach myself how to do that so I can teach you. Just kidding. Okay, so we're just going to take a 3-inch cookie cutter, and we're going to cut out our little bits of pastry and pop them in a bun tin. Now, a bun tin is a little bit shallower than a muffin tin. Muffin tin's a lot deeper than this. You don't want that much. You just want a little divot. You can use a muffin tin if you don't have anything else. Go for it. But don't feel that you have to fill the whole thing. Okay? We're going to keep that pastry aside for another time, for another thing. Don't get rid of it. If you can use it for something else, use it for something else. Those kinds of leftovers I tend to use for decoration for pies and things. And since we've got a few pie things coming up, that's going to come in very useful. Thank you. Now, the next bit we're going to do is the jam. Right, so traditionally you'd put raspberry jam. I don't have any. I don't have any raspberry jam, so we're just going to use some strawberry because that's what we've got. You only want to use about a teaspoon of raspberry jam. No more than a teaspoon. Because you just want a thin layer over the bottom of it. You don't want it to fill up and bubble over. Yeah? So, yeah, I probably should have got a teaspoon for this, but, you know. As you can see, this is just a cheap little jar of jam. If you've got homemade jam, use that. You know, if you like fancy jam, use that. But these are just for lunches for Tanny, so I'm not really too fussy about what's going in, because he's not that fussy about what goes in, let's be honest. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. Right, we're going to set this aside and we're going to do the next step. The next step is making the almond paste. Okay, so we're going to start off by separating 3 eggs. Now we want the yolks, not the whites, but we're going to keep the whites for again. So. Right. Ooh, don't you be naughty. off you pop on that bit. That one. I want this one. Right, there we go. 1 egg yolk. Get rid of those over there. Right, the next thing we need, let's just move those out of the way. We need about 1.25 cups of almond flour. Yep. And about half of that of icing sugar or confectioner's sugar, depending where you are in the world, how you want to put. Ooh. Well, I figured that bit wants to come in there. Here we go. And we just mix it all together. Don't be scared, get your hand in. It's not a big deal. Ooh, what's that? What's a big bit? Right. Don't want a big bit. Another big bit. Oh no, that one's shattered. That's okay. Right. Now, you can keep working this until it's like become like a log. This is basically marzipan. Very quick way of making marzipan. But because we're making the cakeys we're just going to sprinkle them straight onto our little tart cases. But I'm going to wash my hands first. We're going to just cover the jam with the almond paste. Now it is different to frangipan. Frangipan has flour in it as well. But this is, because we're putting a sponge on top that's separate, I don't think it's necessary to go all the way to make frangipan. I think this is going to be perfectly fine as it is. Go. Right. Ooh, we got plenty again for another batch. Ooh, that could be fun. Right. Next, we have to make the sponge top. Okay. This is gonna be fun. Okie dokie. So the next bit we're gonna do is we're going to do the sponge for on top. Now we are going to get ourselves some butter. Grab our butter. I would suggest, if you haven't done this before, you actually measure it. I just know how much is in there and how much it looks like when you take a certain amount out. Similar amount of sugar. And we're just going to start to cream it. Now I'm just using a spoon because I can. I'm just going to pop that to the side. Perfect. Right, it's gotten quite a lot lighter and it is quite fluffy full. Now we're going to crack these eggs. Last eggs, the last ones I've got. So if this goes all pear-shaped, we're kind of screwed. Okay, that's one. Get that one in. Now we're going to mix that one in first. We're going to mix them in one at a time, and that helps to stop the splitting that you can get. There we go. Number 3. Oh, there we go. Number 3. Okay, and as you can see, that hasn't curdled. Or if it has a tiny little bit, and that's it. Okay? This is supposed to be my special Christmas magic wand, and it's not as great as you would hope. Especially for the money it cost. Right, so we're going to add in some baking powder. If you want all the measurements, you're going to have to go back to the beginning and take a screenshot. Or just pause it, one or the other. And then we're going to pop in our flour. Ooh, well, hello. That should do it. Right. So there's 2 other ingredients that we need that I forgot to grab, so we're going to go and grab those and add them in right away. Can't have coconut sponge without coconut. Of course, it always helps. So we're just going to put our little bit of coconut in there. You don't want loads and loads and loads. It's a bit like glitter. A little bit goes a very long way. Okay. There we go. In. Alright. Let's get this all. Oh my god! Come here. Come here. Get up. Oh my god. Mr. Morrison's. Really? I've used this twice. I know it's a Christmas one, but shoddy products at $8 a go? Not okay. We got our coconut sponge all done. I'm going to get our little tray of goodies back, and we're going to start topping these with a sponge. Right. Okay. I'm going to get our little sponge over there. Now we want to try and get that as covered over the top as possible. Alright. I haven't done stuff like this since the kids were at school. I haven't. But it's amazing, you know, you learn little recipes and you can put them all together and you can make new things, and then it's just amazing. Now these very much remind me of my Nana Lucy's Welsh cakes. Welsh cheesecakes. Right, it's kind of fun. Very similar. They're not though, but they're very similar. Do you know what? It looks like I'm going to have to make another batch. Oh, the humanity. I've got so much of the almond left over and so much of the sponge left over. I mean, like, seriously, I'm going to have to make a double batch. And it's just, what am I going to do? Oh, no. No. Tanny will be gutted. Here we go. Right. These are going in the oven. They're going to go in preheated oven for 20 minutes. Or until they're nice and golden on the top. Whatever comes first. I'll see you back when that happens. Okay, kids, watch yourself. Out the way, out the way, out the way, out the way, out the way. Hot, 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 hot. Coming through. Yeah. Good night. Okay. So, we're going to pop these out and pop them on their little rack. And, you know, it doesn't matter that they've gone everywhere. They don't have to be perfect looking, but you know what? He's going to be chuffed to little mint balls with this lot. Of course he's not, because I forgot to put the cherries on. So I'm going to have to put the cherries on now to pretend like I remembered. You know. So, that's something. So, I've got my glacé cherries. I was supposed to put these in while they were cooking. I did not. This is all on me. I'll just put a whole one on. There we go. One. You'll never know. Ah! Okay, maybe you might. You might know a little bit. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's all good. At the end of the day, right, when you're doing some stuff for lunches and you're cooking for home, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. Don't be so pernickety and so worried about things looking as if they belong on a Pinterest blog post. I do Pinterest blog posts. Oh, look, it's the yellow one. But honestly, my stuff doesn't look like some of this, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm cooking at home for the people that I love in my house. So I do my best. I do what I can. This is the first time I've ever made these. I thought it would be a good experiment. It's still a good experiment. I love it. Right. Tanny might have a few words to say, but you know, he'll probably pick on me because they're, you know, interesting looking. Oh, look, they just pop straight out. Oh! You know, that's what love is. Taking the mickey out of each other, but also celebrating the wins, because this is a win, not gonna lie. Okay. Alright, so I did not blind bake the pastry. It was not necessary to do so. It has cooked underneath. It does need a little time to set though, because it's got that frangipan and the jam, which has gone through it and made it a little bit, you know, the kind of bits that we don't actually want to play with. Oops. Because, you know, no one wants a handful of hot molten lava. Let's be honest. There we go. That one was being a little bit more pernickety. So yeah, maybe make these ones in a muffin tin. You could. They might come out a bit better. But I don't mind. Tanny won't mind. He'd be like, oh my god, you made them. Done. Awesome. So wash that out. I can do another round. We're going to try one. I know. But you know, I don't care. So I'm going to have one with a green cherry. No, not that one. I'm going to have this one. Because it was a little bit funny underneath. But I think what it is just because the jam's so hot. Yeah, that's just because it's so hot. We're going to put that back. Leave it where it is. Don't be scared to try new things though, because you know, I mean, it is cooked. It is golden underneath. Okay, I know you guys can't hear that, but it is, and it's just got jam coming through it. So I'm a little bit concerned about trying it, but we're going to do it anyway, because you know, we're Gen X, right? Oh my god. Oh, these are fun. Mm. These are great. Mm. Yeah, I love these. Tanny, I reckon, will love these. Mm. So like I said, don't be scared to try new things. It's the first time I attempted it. Next time I think I'll probably put maybe a teaspoon of sponge over the top, unless I do them in a muffin tin. If I do them in a muffin tin, I would want to put a little strip of baking paper underneath so I can pull them out. Oh. Mm. Although, you could do them in a cupcake case. That could work too. Yum. Oh. Oh. Mm. That is so good. Mm. It works. Playtime works. Mm. Mm. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, sorry, please do go give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I do a lot of things to do with cooking and budgeting and all that kind of, and gardening and all kinds of self-sufficiency stuff. So please do come along with on my journey, and we'll hang out together and have some fun. Okay? So yeah, and hit the little bell icon, because then you'll know when my stuff comes up. Cool. And share it with your friends. If you like this, they might like this. That would be a good thing. Yeah? Alright. I'll see you guys later on. Have a really, really awesome rest of your day. Mwah! Love ya.